Okay, guys, so we're gonna review our mount retention drills that we did this week. Okay, last week, excuse me, because we're gonna be adding on, but it's always good to reinforce, okay, because these are the first stages of maintaining the mount position. So I have John on the ground, okay? Perfect, thank you. Okay, so I'm in this position here. If John tries to throw me left or right, what's my concept?
Wrap the head and post.
Okay, anchor and post. Anchor and post. Wrap the head, anchor, kind of the same kind of idea, okay? So if John tries to throw me one way or another, I need to anchor to his head, making me heavier, and I need to post my arm, okay? If he goes the other direction, I switch anchor and post. Okay, remember, I'm making a pillow with his head, so that way I have room to switch my hand underneath. I don't want to hug his neck, because I hug his neck, he can maybe pin my wrist to the floor, and now if he goes to his right, I can't switch my hand up. It's kind of stuck there. And it only needs to be a split second. He only needs a split second to off-balance me, okay? So I always want to maintain that room so that if he does go the other direction, I can switch, okay? So we're making the pillow with his head. So I posted. He knows that this post is bothering him. He can't get me out, so he's going to reach and try to wrap it. What's my technique? Low swim. Elbow high, swim inside, repost. Elbow high, swim inside, repost. Okay, so that's our anchor and swim concept. Anchor and post, low swim. Anchor and post, low swim. You can go back and forth all day long. Very effective. Okay, that's not working. All right, so John tries to bench press me off. He's gonna, okay? What's our technique? I swim, all right? Rock the shoulder back, shoot my arm through, drive the shoulder, come through with the other arm, drive the shoulder right back into our anchor and post position. If he does it again, he comes inside, 1, 2, okay? Remember, as he pushes up, I wanna make myself heavy, and I'm not moving his arms out of the way, okay? I'm just creating deflection of his hands, okay? Back up, again. Boom, okay? That's not working. He's throwing me side to side. He can't get me up. He's bench pressing me. It's not working. His next option is dire. He's going to start to turn to his knees, hoping that's going to allow him to get to his feet. Hands on the mat, slide the knee up, creating a pillow, rotating my hips, and tucking my foot in. Modified mount. Always maintaining my hands on the mat. I want to be light. Okay, I want just to cover him like a blanket. If he goes back to the back, if he goes back to his back, I open the knee, give him the space that he needs so that I can transition back. He goes the other direction, boom, modified mount. He comes back, again. Okay, that's my key. When I see his arm come through, if he's trying to turn onto his knees and he keeps his arm behind, and he keeps his arm trying to turn to your knees, it's not going to work. Go ahead, like really trying to get you. It doesn't work. Okay, it's very easy to keep his back on the mat because his arm is trapping. So that's my key. The second he brings that arm through, that's when I need to transition. Okay, so let's grab a partner. Let's just go through that drill, like 50%. Boom, anchor post, low swim. Anchor post, low swim, high swim. Modified mount, back and forth, okay? Okay, guys, so now transitioning. We're going to continue that motion from that modified mount, okay? So if I got John mounted, so good. All right? He turns, he modifies mount. He turns to his side. He doesn't know what to do, so he modified mount. Okay? This hook right here in his hip, it can keep him from going to his knees, right? Because it's like a little barrier, a little wall right here. Okay? So I can prevent him from going to his knees. But again, let's assume that this person's a lot bigger than us. So our attempts to just stop him is going to be not futile, but it's not going to always work. We're not going to just be able to stop somebody's movement. So, I got my hands on the mat. Again, I'm always having my hands more or less on the mat. It's allowing my hips to be light and mobile if I need to. Okay? In order for John to get to his knees, first he needs to get to his right knee more or less, right? He needs to get to his, so I'm going to kind of jump off. So if John wants to get to his knees, he's going to put weight on his right knee and then rotate on his right knee to get to his left. Okay, if he comes back and have a beat, that split second when he rotates to his right knee, there's space right here. Okay, remember my foot is back here, right? As soon as I feel that space open up, I'm gonna slide that foot in and it becomes my second hook. So here's the movement. I got John on a modified mount. All right, as he goes to rotate, I put my hands on my, weight on my hands, and now watch this back foot. It slides in. See, now I have both of my feet inside of his legs. So those are my 2 hooks. I'm gonna use the weight of my hands, and I can put my feet on the ground, and I'm gonna slide my butt back. See how high I am right here? If John were to lift his hips up off the ground, I'm very top heavy. So I put my hands on the ground. I can use my feet also if I need to, and I'm gonna push back. Now from here, I'm more back heavy, right? So I'm less likely to smash my face on the ground. And from here, now I can let go of my hands, and I can wrap one arm over John's shoulder and one arm under. And then my head is getting tucked in opposite of the choking arm. And I'm right here. This is a good solid back control. Okay, now if John wants to like move around and fucking move, I just stay on like a backpack. And yeah, go roll around left and right, go ahead, keep going. Alright? Once I get to my back, it's very difficult for John to get back to his knees. And that's good. Now I can control him really, really well. Let's talk about the feet. Heels together, you can kind of put your feet in a prayer position if you want to. Okay, but the concept is to pull your heels in and pinch your knees together. Okay, it's not just crossing your ankles. There's like all the space right here. All right, I cannot have my ankles crossed. It's about the curl of the knees and the pinch of the knees. That's controlling his lower body. And then I have my seatbelt and I squeeze. I'm gonna hug him just like a backpack. All right, stabbing through his chest, through mine, and my head is nice and tight right here. That's the back position. Okay, so that's just transitioning from the modified mount. He's continuing to move in that direction. I gotta transition to the back. So I've already gotten here. He goes, watch the right foot, slides right in. Sit back, and then you can attack whatever side you like, over, under, and that's it. So slow motion, this back foot here. This foot's already more or less between his legs. It's like right here. So it just makes enough space in order to get that other foot in. So slow motion, as he comes to his knees, there's the space, right there. This foot points the toes, slides in, and then I put my weight on my hands and I slide back. See, I got a little bit of weight on my toes. It's gonna help me pull my weight back a little bit, okay? I maintain my hands on the mat the whole time. And then when I feel like the opportunity is right, then I shoot over, under, hug tight, and I get my seatbelt position. And he's going to move around just a little bit, just to feel like, okay, I got that connection. If I'm here and the second John goes to move around, I lose it. All right? I gotta do it again. Okay? Just be tight. Don't be afraid. You're going to roll. Your head's going to hit the ground. That's fine. As long as you're tight and you're bracing yourself for that impact, it's not as bad as you think. Yeah, we're on a mat, but realistically, it's not going to be that bad. As long as you stay tight. So he transitions, hands on the mat, slide the hook in, hips go back. Okay, this is a very good position. I can just kind of chill right here. Or I can run away if I have to. Well, we're going to work on the rear naked choke now. So let's just talk about the choke by itself. Okay, I already got John's back. We're going to do it from the knees, just so we can understand the principles of the hands. I got the over, I got the under. Right? My head is always opposite of the overhook. Okay? Choking arm is going to reach deep underneath his neck. Try to get the elbow and the chin lined up. Okay, see here? Elbow and chin lined up. If you can't, no big deal. Okay? So there's the initial choke. Anchor to his shoulder so that he can't just, if I just grab here, he's going to grab that wrist and he's going to pull it down. But if I can anchor myself to his delt, his trap right here, it's going to be a little harder for him to pull that out. Okay? Now the other hand comes out, and then it's going to slice right between my head and his head. Okay? I don't want to put his hand in front of my hand in front of his face. He's going to grab it. So instead, when I pull the arm out, it stays behind his eye line, and it comes right between my head and his head. Once my hand passes my own wrist, my left arm is going to lift its hand. Okay? Just the fingers are going to pop up. What's that going to do? It's going to allow me to grab my own bicep. Okay? So once it's here, as it passes the wrist, my fingers come up, and then I continue the motion, grab my own bicep, and I grab my own shoulder with my right hand. So left hand has my own bicep, right hand has my own shoulder. My head's down the whole time, but I'm just talking. Okay, now the idea is to squeeze the muscles, okay? But that's not just squeezing the muscles. I want to bring my elbows together and then bring my elbows down to his chest. So it's squeeze with the muscles, elbows together, and then elbows down. Okay, so it's constricting the neck, and it's also putting a diaphragmatic pressure. So I'm dropping my weight on top of him. Okay, just like that. So it's here, here, lock it in, head tight, squeeze and drop. You see how you see how his chest and neck went down? That's me adding that diaphragm pressure. If I'm just here like this and I just squeeze, I'll get the tap. You see how longer it took? As opposed to it's a very minuscule detail. It's a minuscule detail, but it's just creating this pressure down into his chest. Feels like there's weight on top of his chest. Okay, so I'm not only choking him and stopping the blood flow to his brain, but I'm also preventing him to inhale. Okay? The inhale part creates more of a panic reaction when you can't breathe in. Right? If I just choke it, he doesn't feel as much panic. You don't feel the blood stop going to your brain. You don't really feel it. The lights just kind of shut off. But when somebody constricts your diaphragm from expanding, you have that panic response and you get that tap a lot faster. Okay? So again, we're here, seatbelt, punch the arm through, hide the support hand, grab my own bicep and then grab my own shoulder. Head tight, squeeze, and drop the elbows down. Okay? Just from the knees we're going to do it. We're going to add the legs on afterward. Just from the knees, right here. Just this position. Boom, boom, and finish. Okay, let's give it a shot. Okay, time guys, let me show it one more time. One more time. Alright, so we've already established the hook. He's transitioned to his knees. We got the seat belt. We established our over-under. We got the back. He started to thrash around and roll around. Okay? Now, he has a chance to fall one way or another. Okay? So again, we'll start with the overhook side, the strong side. If he falls to the strong side, maintaining my good hooks, because those are supporting my seat belt, my backpack. Punch the arm through. Support arm comes on top. Everything stays nice and tight. I squeeze and I get the finish. Okay? So it falls to the overhook side. Right? They call it the strong side sometimes. I don't like to call it the strong side because I prefer to actually be on the underhook side for reasons that we'll understand in the future. Okay? So if he falls to the overhook side, everything's the same. Arm comes through, supporting arm comes on top. I squeeze and finish. Oh my God. The timing is impeccable. You got the video on? What's that? Yeah, I got the video. Timing's impeccable. That's okay. That's life. Okay. So if you fall to the underhook side, we keep our head between his and the mat. Right? Very important. Choking arm starts. I'm going to use the same side hook and the choking arm to pull him off the ground just a little bit. Now I can get my supporting hand out, punch it through, lock up the rear naked, and get the finish. Okay? So rotate this way just so you can see. So if I fall to the underhook side, head tight, punch through, use the hook and the choking arm to lift off the ground. Allows my hand to release, punch through, drop him right back into the hole, and then I get the finish the same as the standard finish, okay? So it's just about creating enough space so that support hand can come through and finish it, okay?